Make an appointment to give now. Donating blood is safe and can help save lives. Please schedule an appointment by calling 1-800-RED Cross today.
WGY AccuWeather forecast: partly cloudy tonight, a rain or snow shower late, the low 38. Tomorrow mostly cloudy with a passing shower, possibly mixing with some snow, the high temperature 49. Saturday partly sunny, the high temperature 49. We're down to 47 degrees, cloudy skies at News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. Our top story: New York State saw its highest number of deaths in 24 hours, 799, bringing the death toll across the state from COVID-19 to over 7,000. While the deaths are increasing each day, the governor says there is some good news. Hospitalizations are continuing to go down. 2 more Albany County residents have died, bringing the death toll in that county to 11. Yesterday, we learned of possible exposure through an employee with at the Burger King Loudon Road in Albany County Health Commissioner Dr. Elizabeth Whalen addressed that today.
We would encourage those that were at Burger King, either at the counter service or at
times customers might have been exposed, is up on our Capital Region news page at WGY.com. And today we've learned an employee at the Stewart store on the corner of Vandenberg and Campbell Avenues in Troy has also tested positive for coronavirus. Rensselaer County Health Department says anyone who visited that store from March 27th, just over 6.6 million Americans filed unemployment claims last week. More than 16 million U.S. workers have services have been called off and in many cases are being held online. Albany Bishop Edward Scharfenberger tells WGY
5:30, Good Friday also at 5:30, and then the Easter Vigil at 8 p.m. on Saturday. That will be live streamed.
Despite the fact he'll be just about all explained, not shouted, listen to the Daily Dive each day on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. WGY News Time 3:34. Our next news update at 4. Sean Hannity Show continues in less than 3 minutes.
WGY News brought to you by Curtis Lumber. Don't go to bed another night worrying about unfiled taxes or letters and calls from the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more, there is local help available. I'm the tax guy, Brian Daly, CPA, from Clifton Park. I've helped a lot of people locally. Here's one of them. I live in Albany, and I hate to admit it, but I didn't file my taxes for 37 years. I was afraid to tell anyone and afraid to open the mailbox every day. Then I heard about Brian here on the radio. I made an appointment, and Brian made all my worries disappear. With Brian's help, I only had to file 6 years of taxes, and I was finally able to apply for Social Security benefits. Brian helped turn my life around. You may hear offers from national companies about settling your debt with the IRS, but I'm right here in the Capital District in Clifton Park. I'll meet with you in person for a free initial consultation, and I may be able to settle your debt for less than you owe. Call me, the tax guy, Brian Daly, CPA, at 518-383-3330, or visit 518tax.com. That's 383-3330 or 518tax.com.
Hi, Rick Edelman here. Join me this Saturday for the answers to all your questions on investments, taxes, planning for retirement, mortgages, getting your kids into college, and more. It's the Rick Edelman Show every Saturday at 10 on News Radio 810 WGY.
Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
This is Joanne Jenkins, CEO of AARP. The coronavirus continues to affect us all, and we are here actively supporting you and your community. Every day we're providing trusted information from top health experts, sharing tools to help protect families from fraud, and creating resources to support family caregivers everywhere. As always, you can count on AARP to advocate for you and your family. Join us and stay connected at aarp.org/coronavirus.
So are you the type of guy that wants to look put together but doesn't want to spend hours shopping? I hear you. This is why there's Stitch Fix, your personal styling service that delivers hand-picked clothes right to you. Stitch Fix is simple and convenient. Sign up in just a few minutes. Try new styles in the comfort of your own home, and there's no subscription required ever. So, isn't it time to refresh your look? Get started today at StitchFix.com. Stitch Fix, personal styling for everybody.
We separate fact from fiction. Coronavirus Public Health Challenge. This is real life. This is 810 and 103.1 WGY.
like that because I knew it fit what I like to do. And I didn't have a ton of competition, I guess, that second year. It was kind of my job from the start, which was nice, so I wasn't having to look over my shoulder. But it was, again, I don't think I ever really got over the black eye, if you will, of what happened in Cleveland. As bad as we played, because I feel like I went to Dallas and played pretty well. I played well in Houston, so it's just hard to get over. It's early on in my career. We stunk as a team. I didn't play great, threw some interceptions early, especially early in my rookie year. It's hard to overcome it. I mean, it's what have you done for me lately? And these coaches, they're always looking for somebody to take their spot. That's just kind of the dirty part of the NFL. It's the way it works.
Brandon Whedon joining us on the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. Tom Brady had a 2-hour interview with Howard Stern. Did you catch any of it? Just clips, highlights? I'm sure you took in some of it.
Honestly, I didn't hear a whole lot of it. I did see just some of the highlights that people were, either retweeting or talking about, kind of the hot spots. But I didn't catch the whole interview.
I thought the best part of it was he and some of it's high road, where he diminished the idea of who gets credit, right? He said, I couldn't have done what I did. Take a look. This is Tom Brady talking about who should get credit.
I think it's a pretty argument, actually, that people would say that, because, again, I can't do his job and he can't do mine.
Right.
So the fact that you could say, would I be successful without him, the same level of success, I don't believe I would have been. But I feel the same in my as well.
That's how most athletes feel, right? That they think look, we all think we at least around that program, but you at quarterback kind of changed them, took them to a whole other level, even a higher level than Zach Robinson could, but before you got there. You can't do his job. There's a lot
of coach, so he doesn't have a whole lot of say or control of the offense. At the end of the day, Brady's back there for 20 years pulling the trigger. I mean, he's the one that kind of makes the thing go. I don't think one guy should get those games where his defense has won a lot of games for him, won Super Bowls. They've kind of held their end of the bargain. So you'd be crazy not to think that that's one of the reasons why Brady wanted to go somewhere else, to prove that he can do it without Belichick. They're both very successful guys, and they both have egos, and they're very, very prideful guys. But I can guarantee you, Brady's like, man, I'm going to go somewhere with a good football team and see if I can do it without Belichick, to kind of get rid of that misnomer that, he was the only reason we won six Super Bowls. And sure, vice versa, maybe. Who knows?
But does anybody actually think that, right? Like, there's this, I do feel like it's more of a media fan thing, where we get caught up in this, well, Belichick gets all the credit. Like, no, he doesn't. People Lamar Jackson calls him the GOAT. Right? Odell Beckham Jr. brings him GOAT shoes. He has 6 championship Super Bowl rings. When you think he's the best of all time, right now he's known as the best of all time. So this idea that we don't think Brady is great and has been great is a big reason that feels like it's something that's created maybe out of our own egos. Do I think he wants to prove he can still play? I do. And I'm sure that in truth he believes he can play and play at a high level until he's 45, like he's told people. And Belichick's probably like, yeah, I don't really see it that way. But this whole concept that he's not getting his due. Am I the only one remembering everyone calling him the GOAT, including Lamar Jackson?
No, you're spot on. He's the best of all time. I don't really know that it's close. The thing about the way I kind of look at it too is there's been a lot of really, really successful, fairly highly thought of coaches that have had really bad quarterbacks and lost. So yeah, Bill Belichick, he's probably the greatest coach of all time. He's also the best quarterback of all time. So it's when you're a head coach in the NFL, you just pray to God you've got a good quarterback, and he's been lucky enough to have the best of all time for 20 years. So yeah, I would say Belichick's ridden Brady's coattails through a lot of it. He's been very fortunate he's had that success, but if you ask guys that play in that organization, I don't think there's a more prepared team going into a Sunday that Patriots team just because Belichick leaves no stone unturned. So there's no doubt he can coach. That's why, it's tough. It's like the Jordan Kobe thing. I mean, it's who's really the GOAT, or LeBron, or whoever. Give respect where respect's due. They're both great at what they do, in my opinion, too. The best at what they do. That's just why I think there's a little breath of fresh air for Brady going somewhere else to prove that, look, man, if I can go win the Super Bowl somewhere else, maybe it was me, the one, maybe I was a majority of the reason why we won those 6 in New England. Who knows? Like I said, I don't think Brady's a selfish guy, but he's also a very prideful guy that you'll probably want to think like that.
Okay, last thing. Tua apparently has had multiple wrist injuries, ankle injuries, and now the hip injury. If you're an NFL GM and drafting him early in the first round means he's going to be your starting quarterback, do you back off because of that history?
No, he's a young guy. He's the scary one. Like the hip is, in my opinion, the more scary one. The wrist, that's in my opinion a little more common. The hip is one that can kind of maybe linger or be re-aggravate constant problems down the road. No, I don't think I'd be scared off. I think he's a special talent. I think he's obviously the second best in this draft class. But he's got a chance to be really good, play for a long time. I don't know that he'll go in the top 5. If I were Freddie Manning goes outside the top 5, I don't think the team's going to give up the farm for him. But I think he's got a bright future. I think he's a healthy player.
Awesome stuff, Brandon. Enjoy the family time. I do think at some point we're going to be free men, and we'll see what we get a chance to do in our first weekend. Thanks so much for joining us on Fox Sports Radio.
You got it, see.
All right, that is Brandon Whedon, former starting quarterback with the Browns, with the Cowboys, with the Texans, and of course joins us weekly here on the Doug Gottlieb Show. I thought the play calling thing was really, I don't know if you guys thought that was really interesting. Just the different level of complexity in a different system. The number one thing I want to do once quarantine is over, I'll tell you next.
This is the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. Let's be honest, we don't need the draft. Not all agree, but the NFL draft will be going on. The Cincinnati Bengals select, and we're covering it like we always do. Join us on April 23rd as we find out who's sentenced to the Bengals on Fox Sports Radio.
If you're a pro, Lowe's knows your job hasn't stopped. We're here to help with the supplies you need to make repairs and keep people's homes running smoothly at this important time. From our convenient curbside loading to job site delivery to savings on the products you need most, our focus is to help keep your business moving forward. Lowe's is open, and we're pro-ready.
This is Joanne Jenkins, CEO of AARP. The coronavirus continues to affect us all, and we are here actively supporting you and your community. Every day we're providing trusted information from top health experts, sharing tools to help protect families from fraud, and creating resources to support family caregivers everywhere. As always, you can count on AARP to advocate for you and your family. Join us and stay connected at aarp.org/coronavirus.
With all that's going on, it's easy to forget to take care of ourselves with exercise. Even if we're staying home and staying safe, we need to keep our bodies moving to keep our spirits high. Our trusted friends at Cadenwood, the leaders in CBD, have a way to help. Level Select CBD is a complete line of products, including sports creams and roll-ons. They started with a penetrating formula that on its own is a great sports cream. Then they added enough CBD to be really effective. Level Select CBD is independently tested with 0% THC and made in the USA. It's the choice athletes and non-athletes alike swear by. Visit LevelSelectCBD.com. Order any of their products right now and get 15% off. Use promo code CBD15. That's LevelSelectCBD.com, promo code CBD15. Or subscribe and save even more. LevelSelectCBD.com. As you and our community deal with a new way of life, working from home and social distancing and the continuing question of when will things get back to normal, know that one of the things you might be worried about is paying your bills.
We're here to help, and we'd like to redirect your mind to a seat of positivity.
We've got the 12 chances every day for you to
Stay safe, keep your phone charged, and your radio on for the latest on what's happening.
We will be here with everything you need to know and another chance to get your bills paid. Coming up on iHeartRadio. An important message from iHeart Automotive.
Shopping for a car from the comfort of your home has never been easier. Many dealers have tools on the website to value your trade, choose your payment, and get financed. Most can even offer a delivery option right to your door. A message from iHeart Automotive and your local automotive dealers.
you need when you need it, and that hasn't changed. That's why we want to let you know AutoZone stores are still open. Whether it's a quality part or a free battery set to help you stay on the road, we've got what you need. And if you do happen to need anything fast, we've got free store pickup inside the store or curbside, your choice, as well as next day delivery. Our stores are open and we're ready to help make the job easier. Get a new zone. AutoZone. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Our veterans risked it all to protect our freedoms, and they need our help as we all fight the coronavirus. At an unprecedented time in history, our most vulnerable veterans are isolated in hospitals, and during their greatest time of need, their family, hospital volunteers, and staff can have little or no contact with them. Being alone can be terrifying, but we all can help. Healthy Old Veterans, with the support of citizens like you, creates, manufactures, and distributes therapeutic art and craft projects for our veterans and military, at no charge to them. We invite you to join us in supporting an isolated or sick veteran and help them through this desperate time. To learn more, visit healvets.org. This message is furnished by Help Heal Veterans, a not-for-profit organization that has been helping veterans for nearly 50 years. healvets.org.
W4FX Troy, WGYFM HD2 Albany, W240EC Albany, Fox Sports 980 and 95.9 FM.
Today at Progressive.com, Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. iHeartRadio wants to help with a chance at $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword SMILE to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest.
WGY AM Schenectady, WGY FM Albany, an iHeart radio station.
4 o'clock at News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. I'm Jim Gagliardi. Congress not on the same page when it comes to additional funding for small businesses fighting the economic freefall. Top stories in a minute. First, traffic and weather.
This report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Because of the high winds this afternoon, my friends, in Saratoga Springs, Avenue of the Pines is closed in both directions from Route 9 over towards Route 50. That is until further notice. 787, some construction both ways around Tibbetts Avenue. Up and down the Northway, we're in pretty good shape. Westbound side of the thruway, right by exit 26. The right lane's closed with maintenance. From the WGY Price Chopper Market 32 Traffic Center, I'm Mike Barker.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit pcadevzone.org.
The WGY AccuWeather forecast, partly cloudy tonight, breezy with a rain or snow shower in spots, the low 38. Mostly cloudy tomorrow and windy with a couple of showers, maybe mixed with snow early in the day, the high 49. Breezy Saturday, intervals of clouds and sun, the high 49. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon on News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY.
Right now, overcast skies, temperature at 46 degrees, and the National Weather Service in Albany with a wind advisory in effect for most of eastern New York from now until midnight. West winds sustained 15 to 30 miles an hour with some wind gusts at 50 miles an hour. Democratic Senator Dick Durbin says Democrats are very much for giving small businesses additional funding during the coronavirus pandemic. This comes after Senate Democrats blocked an expansion of the payroll protection program because they say it's not enough. Speaking on MSNBC, Durbin said they want to make sure hospitals and healthcare providers are also getting additional funding.
Senator McConnell just announced he was going to call this today. He announced it to the press before he even approached the leaders in Congress to talk about it. We wish he would have, because we want to try to add in this some things that are critically important.
Now, Durbin says the amount of money that has been appropriated, he feels, is, quote, just not adequate. Both parties need to come together to reach another stimulus deal. On racial disparities among cases across the U.S., Durbin said Congress needs to address those public health issues far beyond the current pandemic. He says it's unacceptable to have these gross health disparities within our healthcare system. Governor Cuomo sharing different projection models for potential scenarios at his daily briefing on the pandemic. The models range from mild to severe. Columbia University model saying 136,000 people in New York City alone to be hospitalized. McKinsey model showed 110,000 people hospitalized. Gates Foundation model projected 73,000 hospitalizations statewide. Currently, the state is at a 90,000 bed capacity.
We can handle the McKinsey moderate scenario. We don't make the McKinsey severe scenario at 110,000. I believe that 90,000, we have a plan to get to 110, converting dormitories, et cetera, but it would be a massive undertaking and a massive scramble. We do make the Gates-funded projection model. The Columbia University model, that would just be a nightmare. That is the one that keeps me up at nights because you couldn't get anywhere near that projection.
Hospitalizations have been decreasing, an increase of 200 patients in 24 hours, lowest number since the outbreak began, but the daily death toll today, third straight record day, 799 people dying across the state from COVID-19. An employee at the Stewart store at the corner of Vandenberg and Campbell Avenues in Troy has tested positive for the coronavirus. Rensselaer County Health Department says the employee is an Albany County resident. County Health Department says anyone who visited that Stewart store from March 27th through the 31st and is showing symptoms of COVID-19 should call the County Health Department. Another major business with several locations in the area announcing a major furlough. Starting on Sunday, Dick's Sporting Goods will be furloughing almost all of its employees. Sporting Goods chain said to employ 40,000 people. In our area, there are stores in Guilderland, Latham, Saratoga Springs, Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Employees' health insurance will be kept in place. Purchases can still be made online, and there will be, quote, contactless curbside pickup where allowed. The Georgia Bar is literally pulling money off its walls to pay its staff. Customers at the Sandbar in Tybee Island have been writing notes on $1 bills and stapling them to the wall for about 15 years. But because of the economic slowdown caused by the coronavirus pandemic, bar's owners had to get creative on how to pay its staff, so they pulled down more than $3,700 off the walls. Regular customers also chipped in, so more than $4,100 distributed to 4 bartenders and 2 musicians. Good day on Wall Street. A bit of a pullback, was up over 500 points. That's the Dow Jones Industrials. Just before the close, the Dow still with a healthy gain, 296 points. NASDAQ up 58, S&P 500 up 40. For more news, listen to The Daily Dive. Big news stories explained, not shouted. Listen to The Daily Dive each day on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your favorite podcasts. WGY News Time, 4:06. Our next update at 4:30. I'm Jim Gagliardi. More Sean Hannity in a minute on News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. Capital Region's breaking news, traffic, and weather station.
WGY News brought to you by Fagan Associates. I'm Dr. Howard Zucker, New York State's Health Commissioner. I'm calling on all New Yorkers to do their part to slow the spread of coronavirus. Everyone, even young people and those who feel well, stay home. If you must go outside, stay 6 feet from others. This will ensure everyone who needs hospital care can get it. This virus spreads even without symptoms. Stay home and stay safe. Be a part now so we can all be together later. Stay informed at health.ny.gov/coronavirus.
Doctors, nurses, and all hospital workers are on the front line of the coronavirus pandemic as they put their own health at risk for the sake of others. We're called to do whatever we can to help. During the COVID-19 crisis, Caring Wellness Pharmacy is offering $10 Ananda Professionals CBD products for healthcare professionals. Any hospital, long-term care, or assisted living employees are eligible while supplies last. Only available at Caring Wellness Pharmacy. Stop in today at 1097 Loudon Road. That's 1097 Loudon Road in Cohoes. Or go to caringwellnesspharmacy.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I haven't paid my taxes in 8 years.
He was in big trouble.
We're going to take your house, turn this repay.
Louie called Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm.
I don't want IRS anymore. It was because of Optima Tax.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-960-1575. 800-960-1575. Optima Tax Relief. For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's Chuck and Kelly.
Tomorrow morning, a guy wears a thong as a protective mask and punches at someone who made fun of him. It's Kelly's Stupid Criminals at 7:45.
810 and 103.1 WGY.
I'm just not kind of myself. Like there's a, I don't know. I feel like this is a really good spot. Right? Like I have a buddy. My first partner in national radio was a guy named Chuck Wilson, and Chuck is 1, total professional, 2, the salt of the earth guy, and 3, he taught me some things that I take with me to this day, which, like rule number 1 was never take a job just because of the money. Like, that's a bad idea, right? But he also said, one of the things about having kids is once you have kids that are old enough, there's no real age, old enough, you start to see sports through their eyes, and you're a little hipper, and he was never a hip guy. He would tell you he was a dork, he's, not hip. But you're hipper because... So, the Jordan documentaries are about to come out. We don't have an range. But LeBron now, in his mid-30s, has accomplished almost everything you can accomplish in the NBA. The missing piece for him is him win a title in LA. And it felt like this was as good an opportunity as anybody. He was healthy. His team is playing well. The Warriors aren't healthy enough to compete. The Rockets still kind of lost figuring things out. The Mavericks are too young. The Jazz aren't good enough. The Nuggets aren't good enough. The Clippers hadn't maybe played together enough. I don't know, the Trailblazers aren't there, plus they were having a disappointing season. Over on the other side, the Bucks still don't have a second star player, and they just beat the Bucks. The Sixers are all screwed up and trying to figure it out. The Celtics feel like they're a year or two. Jordan, who, those of us are my age, our age, me and Byer, I was a little younger than me, and Ramos a little older than me. We had the perspective of having lived through the Jordan era. Ryan Music, did you ever remember Jordan live watching Michael Jordan play? No. Which is fine, it's impossible. It's why I don't comment on Wilt Chamberlain. All I know about Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell was my dad told me that Wilt Chamberlain was a choke artist and bad teammate, no real skill. He was hardcore, not a Wilt Chamberlain guy at all. But I don't include him in lists. I'm not old. I remember Magic and Bird. Jabbar was mostly Jabbar, played in his 40s, but wasn't great. It's hard for me to really comment on Jabbar, even Dr. J, really. But Bird, Magic, Barkley, Jordan, and then there's half the sports fans in America never saw Jordan play, or aren't old enough, don't have perspective, not sure. LeBron James is going to lose when the Jet painted a totally ugly picture of Michael Jordan. Otherwise, Jordan wouldn't have signed off on the doc, right? Let's kind of be honest. Will it point out his flaws? Of course. But there's 1-3 game. Corner wasn't as much more basketball. Didn't years. And Leon's look, LeBron's great, but that guy was more dominant in his era. So, had LeBron won a championship and then the Jordan documentary came out, I think the conversation might be more even. But much like LeBron benefited from playing and Jordan not playing and people forgetting, people suddenly remembering, think of every documentary you've seen about every athlete and you immediately think they're better than they were. Right? You go back and you watch that Rose Bowl game, SC Texas, and immediately you're like, dude, I forgot how much of a beast Vince Young is. And you have people who will come back and go yeah, the Titans used him wrong. But we had somebody else, the Titans used him. No, they didn't. Vince Young had a terrible throwing motion, couldn't read a defense, bad off-the-field habits. Wasn't an NFL quarterback. He just wasn't. He was a great college quarterback. But because you saw the game and saw how amazing he was against USC, you're like, the Titans had to screw it up. You completely changed history. When you see Jordan play, you're like, oh my God, I forgot how incredible he was. There was never a basketball floor he stepped on until he retired as a Bull. Can't say it as a Wizard, but that was post-retirement is a weird deal. It was like him playing baseball. It didn't really make sense. But there's never a basketball court that he stepped on that he wasn't the best player. He might not have had the best game, but there's never a court that we didn't step on that wasn't the best player. And how it ends, how it concludes, making 2 free throws, then making a driving finish, then getting a steal, than hitting the game-winning jump shot to win an NBA championship. I feel like LeBron is going to lose without ever lacing him up. Without ever lacing him up. I did not think we were going to get John Ramos, his mom getting him a stripper on his 21st birthday in front of his family as part of that segment, but I appreciate it, John, because as good as my rant was on Jordan LeBron, that part made it better. Thank you.
You're welcome, Doug.
Thank you. And that's really what's important is the show, not your people's image of you, Ramos. What becomes of Jameis Winston next season, to me, is fascinating. Fascinating. I'll break it down for you next.
This is the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. As you sit at home, we want you to know.
Rob Parker might try to poo-poo this. I'm the poo-poo king.
Are here for you.
I hate to say I told you so.
That's pretty awesome. We gladly take this opportunity to give you the escape you need.
Come on, who's with me?
We're Fox Sports Radio.
Thank you guys for the entertainment.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service announcement. Last year, did you get a smaller tax refund than you were expecting? Or are you worried you're not getting every dollar you deserve? Then you've got a reason to switch to Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. We know our stuff, and we'll make sure you get your biggest tax refund. Plus, it pays to switch to Jackson Hewitt. Call in today and ask a Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro how to get rewarded with $100 when you switch. Get your biggest tax refund. Go to Jackson Hewitt today. That's Jackson Hewitt.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for our spring break deals on lawn and garden batteries, wiper blades, brake kits, and more. Ready for an oil change? Get 5 quarts of Valvoline conventional filter for $28.99. Plus, get a $7 gift card after mail-in rebate. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
Auto Parts. Level Select CBD is independently tested with 0% THC and made in the USA. It's the choice athletes and non-athletes alike swear by. Visit LevelSelectCBD.com. Order any of their products right now and get 15% off. Use promo code CBD15. That's LevelSelectCBD.com, promo code CBD15. Or subscribe and save even more. LevelSelectCBD.com.
This report is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You're looking at 10-minute travel time on both sides of the North Plain from I-90 and Colony, right up to Clifton Park at exit 8, and a good ride right up into Saratoga Springs. Over at 7, 5 minutes each way, coast to coast, top to bottom on 787. Really not bad. A little bit of a brake check on the north-south side as you approach I-90. From the WGY Price Chopper Market 32 Traffic Center, I'm Mike Barker.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and auto insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to Geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
The unemployment rate is lower than it's been in decades. That means if you're trying to hire a new employee, they probably already have a job, which means you need to try reaching them in a different way. That's where iHeartMedia comes in. Every week, our radio stations reach 93% of the U.S., most likely when they're on their commute or already at work. So start connecting with the qualified candidates you've been looking for on AM/FM radio. Visit iHeartWorks.com. That's iHeartWorks.com.
The way we're all going about doing things these days has changed. But one thing that hasn't is Lowe's commitment to our customers. We're here with all the things you need to keep your home running smoothly during this important time. Our stores are open and ready to help. Or you can also order online at Lowe's.com or download our app and we'll deliver right to your doorstep.
I'm Oscar Ramirez, and I host the Daily Coronavirus Update, a daily podcast bringing you the latest on what to know about the global pandemic we are facing. There's a lot of information going around about how the virus is spreading, possible treatments, and best practices to keep you and your family healthy. It's more important than ever to follow this fast-moving story and avoid misinformation, so you can keep up to date and make informed decisions. iHeartRadio is #1 for podcasts, but don't take our word for it. Find the Daily Coronavirus Update on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Jason Blum, founding board member of the Innocence Project. My new podcast is Wrongful Conviction, available on iHeartRadio. On Wrongful Conviction, I interview a different exoneree every week and help them to tell their incredible stories
first no evidence pets can give us the virus, pet owners are showing concern after reports that the tiger contracted COVID-19 from an asymptomatic handler. Dr. John Ho, president of the
Don't be grabbing and kissing your dog in the mouth. Don't be hugging them if you can. Maybe have somebody else in the family take.
Go to the iHeartRadio app and tap the podcast tab for the latest news and information about coronavirus.
This is Fox Sports 980 and 95.9 FM. FoxSports.com for details. Broadcasting live from the studios of Fox Sports Radio, here's Doug Gottlieb.
So there are people that, just because you're the best doesn't make you the most interesting. Like, it's one of the things about Tom Brady doing the 2-hour-plus interview with Howard Stern was that Brady, for the first time this year, has been interesting, right? Like, that's a fair way to look at it. Like, I've never seen Tom Brady go, you know what's interesting to me is Tom Brady. Like, it's not really that interesting. The Jameis Winston thing is really interesting to me. I don't know if he is to you, but he is to me. And look, there's this expression. Chris Carter used to work at Fox, Hall of Fame wide receiver. He had this expression which I love, which is, money doesn't change you; it makes you more of who you are. Right? Money doesn't change you; it makes you more of who you are. And I also would offer up that like, look, all of us kind of go through in our 20s, we evolve some. Jameis Winston threw for 5,100 yards last year. That's a lot. He threw for almost 20,000 yards, 88 touchdowns, and 71 interceptions. Right? And as much as we think of Jameis as the 30 interception guy of last season, it should be pointed out that he never threw 20 interceptions before in his career. Right? Of course, he had to earn back his job the year before when he was suspended, and then Ryan Fitzpatrick kind of lit up the world, and then eventually he kind of got his job back. Outside of that, he threw for 4,000 yards his first 2 years and 5,000 yards this year, and in 2017, 3,500 yards in only 13 starts. So the guy puts up numbers, and yet he's coming off of downs. So who he's most as Jameis, but not good. Had a motorcycle accident, only 1 year starter. Now, all these years later, here's Pittsburgh's 38 years on camp. Sneak fit. It takes the greatest quarterback of all time to replace. It's kind of Jake Clifton where Steve's a super bright guy. This is who you are.
National football. 5 scripted throws. NFL members fully plans ability have concluded their careers with us. In the NBA, players will receive their paychecks for the full amounts on April 15th, according to ESPN. The report adds it's not known if players will receive their full paychecks on May 1st. The league and union have been negotiating on whether to withhold a percentage of their salaries.
What does work like for you?
So it's hectic. I'm coming off a 24-hour shift, so trying to get a little bit of rest. It's a time right now very intense, and a hospital is only being repurpose ourselves to help in this COVID-19 fight. Our floor has been transformed to COVID-19 only floors, and our operating rooms are slowed down, our elective cases have been canceled, and our outpatient virtual. So we knew about it probably a couple of months ago, and we knew that it was serious, at that point, but I don't think we knew that it was going to hit home as hard as it did, probably until a couple of weeks ago, when our hospitals started making these institutional-wide changes to policies and procedures where everyone has to wear masks and no visitors are allowed anymore. And, we have this surge clinic, this hospital within a hospital clinic where you take these patients off to choose who has COVID-19 or symptoms analogous to it. these sort of
Dr. Myron Roll joining us.
I see that it's pretty much just standard for this virus. Another way of saying I like the mitigation, especially if you have pre-morbid conditions or you're a bit older, you don't have the functional reserve to sort of fight off. That while we do that, if we have to get doing these things, and for us, we're a teaching hospital at base, valuable members to the fight.
They've heard from a doctor, I'm sure, told you when you were in high school when you sprained an ankle, hey man, you got to be off this for a month. And you're like, okay, doc, but I'm an athlete. I'm back in a week. My thing was 10 times more than the common man. How would
it's great right now? You're in optimal shape and young and you're healthy, and if you can get after it, they may not have that chance again. I certainly realized that kind of coming out of my late 20s to say, well, you know what? It's time to move into medicine and go on to something that I can have a valuable contribution to society once football is done. But then I also realized as a medical professional, putting on my hat as a scientist for a second, that social distancing and physical distancing is real, and it's important for this sort of infectious disease, and not just the airborne and droplet sort of precautions, but the contact precautions too. You know, this disease has an envelope, a membrane around it that sort of sits on surfaces. And so if you're using one of somebody who's tested, who's infected, you could be, contracting this disease and you don't even know it. So I think just to be incredibly smart, be very, very smart, be very careful at this moment, because if you're trying to get ahead and trying to get the work, great. But if you do it at the expense of your own health, that may set you back even farther. So it's a balancing act for sure. But I believe that physical distancing, limiting the amount of people that are around, limiting the amount of people that are using the same materials, same machines, same materials, same benches, or whatever the case may be, keeping that at a very, very minimum.
Dr. Myron Roll joining us here on the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. Again, I know you're not an infectious disease specialist. I completely understand, but that's not, you're a brain surgeon, a neurosurgeon. But I do wonder, like, the signs of optimism, the signs that we are flattening the curve, if you will, leads to us thinking, hey, I know that right now everything in life is shut down, but maybe we'll be back online sooner rather than later. How would you describe, if I'm in California, I'm optimistic that, I don't know, May 1st seems like a possibility for life getting back to some sort of relative new normal. Is that a crazy thought? Should we still be, like, where should we be thinking?
I don't think that's a crazy thought, but I think that, once some progress, you want to stay at it, stay at the behavior modification and the adjustments you made to get to that progress. I liken it to, somebody who's been operated on with their spine, right? You get through a hard spine surgery, stabilize the spine, take off the compression that they were having on their neural elements, and they start to feel pretty good the first day or two. Man, I didn't feel like this before, I was in so much pain, now I'm not. And they go in and try to run a marathon the first day, right, seeing their progress. Then they get set back again because they just were so excited that things are moving in the right direction. It's about being patient, it's about getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, and allowing us time to continue to work through this. Because there's a lot of different trial and experimental therapies that are kind of going on and being tested at the moment, and we have to make sure those are everyone wants to do that. People are saying, even still, even now, as it looks better or looks brighter, so the numbers and stats, we still need to adhere to the social distancing, and our part is just a normal citizenry around the country and around the world.
Did you just use efficacious? That was amazing. You just used efficacious. I actually know what it means. I've never heard the word used in a sentence before, but I got it. That's, it's funny. You're bringing. I played with a guy named Gary Bell. I played Notre Dame my first year, and then Oklahoma State my next three. And Gary Bell was really highly touted kid, 6'5", lefty from Joliet, Illinois. Had back surgery, and then his first day back was cleared from back surgery. He's windmill dunking, he's doing all this stuff, and sure enough, the next day he missed practice because he's like, man, my back is tight. I felt so good because I've been unable to do something for so incredibly long. All right, here's the thing. We're all in our homes. I have a family, 3 kids, so we go on walks. We're having family dinners. Like there's a lot of obviously bad in the The deaths are, and the sickness is scary and super, super sad. For those of us who are not sick and we're under quarantine, you're trying to take away the positives, right? In California, there's no smog, right? No traffic, and we're getting to actually have conversations with our family members. As a neurosurgeon, though, like, you just got off a 24-hour shift, you get time to kind of catch up. Have you been able to slow down at all during quarantine?
Actually, to be completely honest with you, I got married 4 months ago. My wife's a pediatric dentist, and I actually sent her down to Georgia to be with her family because I didn't want to come home and infect her with anything that I was carrying from the hospital. She's staying right in our clinics right now. So it's literally just coming home, FaceTiming her, talking to my other family in the Bahamas, making sure that everyone's okay, and then trying to get back in the fight and down and go to full speed ahead. It's tiring, for sure. It's taxing mentally and draining a little bit. Ultimately, this is what I signed up to do and want to do with my life. As I mentioned, I'm from the Bahamas, and when Hurricane Dorian hit my home country, I'm not an emergency response physician. I don't know how to test cholera in water. I don't know how to avoid, stepping on nails, so I don't have tetanus. But I went down and used my skills to help my country. And so, same thing. If there's a need and there's vulnerable people around, I just want to be able to do my part. And even though we're not doing brain surgeries right now, anything that I could do or my colleagues could do, we're up for it because we just want to get this back to normal and have more of those great moments that you're mentioning that people are sort of enjoying and want to get back to their normal day-to-day life.
Yeah, I do feel like we're going to come out of this thing and we're going to appreciate doctors, nurses, those of us who are trying, we got homeschool kids, you're appreciating teachers more, each other more. Like, again, there's a lot of really sad stories, but there's going to be some good come from it. Myron, you do an amazing job. Thanks so much for teaching me how to use efficacious in a sentence. I'm going to copy that. You can trademark it if you want, and get some rest. Keep up the good work, and hope your wife's doing well with her family down in Georgia.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate you very much, man. Thank you.
The pleasure is mine. Dr. Myron Roll, who obviously just brought up the level of IQ of this radio show by like 50 times. There's a dude who has always gotten, right? Used college football to get to be a Rhodes Scholar, but still got to play his pro football and then accomplish his dream of being a neurosurgeon. And by the way, if he needs to change gears and just help society and not perform brain surgeries, that's what he's doing right now in Boston. Had you ever used the word efficacious or heard the word efficacious, Ryan, before?
I definitely have not used it or ever heard someone use it so smoothly in a sentence. No, I cannot say that I ever have.
Yeah, I didn't feel like he was showing off. I just feel like that's the way he speaks.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Normally when someone's showing off, they somewhat slightly misuse the word to where it hits your ear different and you're like, he's trying to use big words right now. He definitely was just what I did.
You're saying something to me. You're just not saying that.
Normally, people like Doug, normally people...
I love it. He's just like, look, when the thing that happened in the Bahamas, Hurricane in the Bahamas, I went there and I said, now, I can't do brain surgery, fine. I'm such a 24-hour shift. I think you do that. It'd be a lot of coffee. A lot of coffee. Myron, we're Dr. Myron Roll. Join us in Discover Card Guest Hotline. Get your free credit scorecard today. Even if you're not a Discover customer, it includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at Discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply. How close was Coach K to leaving to the NBA?
This is the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. We just want to remind you that during this global pandemic, we all need to stay calm, stay strong, and keep looking out for each other. Brighter days are coming. Keep it right here on Fox Sports Radio. Because sometimes it's more than just sports.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. You've worked hard building up your retirement nest egg, but will it provide the income you need to have a comfortable retirement? Do you have the right investment mix? Stocks, bonds, cash?
donate online, and to learn other ways. Made in the U.S. by U.S. beekeepers. It's a product I can trust. Golden Blossom is a thicker, richer honey. That's why it tastes so good. I use it in everything, like my signature appetizer, baked for you with honey, nuts, and apples. And be sure to try Golden Blossom honey mustard. Yummy. Look for the green and gold label. And for lots of delicious recipes, check out goldenblossomhoney.com.
Later tonight for a shower or two.
CBS FM HD New York. The virus. Mayor de Blasio says we're still at least a month away from seeing any restrictions getting lifted, and says a decision on the rest of the school year will be made in the next few days. 6.6 million in London. Radio 880. It's 5 o'clock. New York is a tale of two states increasing coronavirus deaths. There's even deaths has pushed the total in New Jersey to 1,700. Governor Phil Murphy. That's live below. CBS's Peter King with that.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he told the state's employment office to hire extra people for its call center. And they're like, yeah, we'll do it. Just hold out. What it says is how many of
National Space Station launching from Kazakhstan. CBS News space analyst Bill Harwood.
It was a little bit unusual because it didn't have any of the fanfare we normally expect with a Russian launch. Coronavirus travel restrictions prevented friends and family members from attending, but the launch itself went off without a hitch, and the crew reached orbit safely about 8 minutes and 45 seconds after liftoff.
The new space station crew will replace 2 Americans and a Russian who are scheduled to return to Earth next week. The Dow gained 285 today. NASDAQ was up 62. This is CBS News.
You can listen to CBS News Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on radio.com or the radio.com app. Download it today.
Your news, live and local. This is WCBS News Radio 880, a radio.com station. 55 degrees and sunny in Manhattan. The rain has passed us by. We get down to a low of about 40 tonight in the city. WCBS News Time is 5:03. More than 7,000 people have now died from coronavirus in New York, with the state hitting another record for deaths reported in one day. 799 more since yesterday. WCBS's Peter Haskell has the latest from Governor Cuomo's briefing.
It's been 18 days since we closed down New York. I know it feels like a lifetime.
The restrictions have been challenging, but the governor says we need to stick with them. The curve seems to be flattening.
We had 200 net increase in hospitalizations, which you can see is the lowest number we've had
since this nightmare started.
Thousands of residents continue to be frustrated by unemployment insurance. The volume keeps crashing the system. Cuomo says they've added 1,000 new employees.
The good news is, whenever you sign up, your benefits are going to be retroactive.
More than 800,000 people have tried filing in the past month. Peter Haskell, WCBS News Radio 880.
The city is still making progress, according to Mayor de Blasio, but he says we're still at least a month away from seeing any restrictions getting lifted. WCBS's Steve Burns has the details.
Progress is not going to happen in a straight line, says Mayor de Blasio.
Not like each week it's going to get a specific, easy, clear milestone, and it's all going to go perfectly and cleanly. It's not going to be like that.
So even with some signs of progress, he says it's important to keep social distancing.
The last thing we can afford is to let down our guard and let this disease back in the door even more, and then see the numbers spike up.
Those numbers, de Blasio says, are what will chart the path forward. He's specifically pointing to hospital admissions, ICU admissions, and total new cases.
To start to discuss any change, any relaxing of restrictions, we need to see all three of those indicators move in unison.
For upwards of 10 days, the mayor says. He expects restrictions to stay in place through April and much of May. Steve Burns, WCBS News Radio 880.
And the mayor says the fate of city public schools for the rest of the school year will be determined in a matter of days. De Blasio said there was still some faint hope of resuming in-person classes at some point this year, but the Department of Education source says there is almost no chance that kids would return to their buildings before summer break. New Jersey now has more than 51,000 cases of COVID-19 and 1,700 deaths. Matt Rosenberg has an update from Governor Murphy.
Despite the numbers continuing to rise, Governor Murphy says there's good news when it comes to doubling time. That is the amount of time it takes for cases to double. In 8 New Jersey counties, that number is between 5 and 7 days.
This is real progress. Are we spiking any footballs? No way. We're not near the end zone. It's still going up. The curve on the line looks like it's beginning to flatten of positive cases.
Estimates say the peak number of hospitalizations could come in the next 2 to 3 days in New Jersey. Health Commissioner Judith Persicelli says hospitals continue to expand their capacity.
And really what that means is that they have the physical space to be able to put the equipment necessary around the bed that's required by the patient, and then have a ratio of caregivers to patient at a higher level than a typical medical surgical ratio.
Which is a challenge. The governor also signed an executive order extending grace periods for health insurance premiums and other payments. Matt Rosenberg, WCBS News Radio 880.
WCBS News Time 5:07.
I'm not a big talker. I am a big doer. But sometimes the only way to solve the problem is to get on the horn and figure it out. So the only people I like talking to, Grainger. With knowledgeable product experts, ready with the answers to my toughest questions, calling Grainger is the one conversation I don't mind having. From machining and motor parts to valves and vacuum pumps. When it comes to solving my problems, Grainger's got my back. Call, click Grainger.com, stop by to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cultivators of the cul-de-sac, run with us on a John Deere X370 Select Series lawn tractor. His yard work is about more than just mowing. It's about moments that last a lifetime. Like when your daughter Emily has a shot at making wiffle ball history on her home turf. And that's why the X370 needs nothing to chance. With one-touch mulch control technology and attachments for every season. So Emily can knock it out of the park. This is more than just grass. It's the stuff legends are made of. Nothing runs like a deer. Search John Deere X300 for more.
WCBS News Time is 5:08. Time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. Head over to the traffic center first. Hi, Tom Kaminsky.
Well, good afternoon, Linda. Let's start first off along Route 9A. We did have a collision at Sawmill River Road. The crash there is now cleared, but those storms left some cleanup to contend with. We had on 9W at Oak Tree Road, a down tree right in that area, right in Palisades. We've had some local streets still yet cleaning up with some of the downed tree limbs. The northbound side of the Hutch at Mamaroneck Avenue, we had a stall there. That was off to the shoulder. And then we go to the southbound New York State Freeway at exit 9. That is in Tarrytown. We had a crash and one lane is closed. Just coming in now in Fairfield County on the Connecticut Turnpike, southbound, right in the area of exit 34 in Milford. We have a crash there, and the right lane is blocked. And a little bit farther south, actually quite a bit farther south around the Stamford area, between 9 and 7, we still have construction being reported there. Not much of a delay through that stretch, but just use some caution there. The post road would be a little bit better for you. Western spur of the New Jersey Turnpike, 2 lanes are still blocked. 15W down through 15E down toward interchange 14. That's the ongoing road work there. I'm Tom Kaminsky with WCBS Traffic Center.
Let's get a check of our weather forecast now. Been kind of all over the place as a weather day today. Here's meteorologist Craig Allen.
You bet it has. From showers to sun to showers to sun, and of course those wild 2 hours that we had from west to east, from Jersey on out to the east end of the island. Worst of it, Jersey took the worst of it in terms of hail and strongest winds being reported, but there is damage around that has to be cleaned up. Tree branches down at the very least in other locales. And what's making it tough is the fact that the winds are still gusting over 30, 35, 40, 45 miles per hour, and will do that right through the night. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the latest observations here. LaGuardia gusting to 40, Kennedy gusting 45, Newark gusting to 40, 44, at Bronx Lehman College observations there. So the wind advisory is in effect for tonight into tomorrow, and temperatures tonight will drop to about 40. Tomorrow's high 50 to 55. There could be a passing shower late tonight and another passing shower or two for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Finally clearing out Friday night. It's in the 30s, and Saturday a mix of sun and clouds, not as windy. The wind finally beginning to ease, and it'll be in the mid-50s on Saturday. 55 in the city, humidity 38%.
Thanks, Craig. WCBS News Time is 5:10. Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont says schools and non-essential businesses should not expect to open until at least the end of May.
In the end of June, as well as a small business, including bars and restaurants. I think you got to be able to count on the fact that May 20th would be the earliest that we reconsider opening anything.
380 people have died from coronavirus in Connecticut. More than 9,700 are infected in the state. Governor Lamont says 10% of those admitted to the hospital have died. Nassau County is reporting 1,592 new cases of COVID-19 and 67 more deaths. WCBS's Sophia Hall has the story. Nassau County Executive Laura Curran says please continue to social distance and stay at home.
We appear to be in a plateau at this moment, but that plateau this is serious crisis mode for a consistent number of days, so we continue to need your help.
She says sadly 17 people died because of the coronavirus at the A. Holly Patterson Nursing Home, a county-owned facility, and she spoke about protective gear.
And I just want to reiterate, the urgent need right now, today, as I am speaking to you, is gowns, those hospital gowns. I'm told the supply chain is drying up. A lot of the factories overseas that were making them have switched their production over to masks.
Sophia Hall, WCBS News Radio 880. WCBS News Time 5:11.
When you need to know the latest news,
We are flattening the curve by what we are doing.
when you're looking for answers,
It doesn't tell us when this is going to be over. It tells us double down.
in this time of crisis, stay connected to WCBS 880.
Governor Murphy has extended the public health emergency 30 days.
We will get through it together.
WCBS News Time is 5:12. It's time now for sports. ESPN reports NBA players will receive their full pay on the 15th of this month. The league has been suspended since March 11. The Bulls have stayed busy during this pandemic. They're reshaping their basketball operations department. ESPN reports they're set to name Arturas Karnisovas as their new top executive. The former Seton Hall star has been at the Denver Nuggets as general manager the last 3 years. Harvard graduate transfer Bryce Aiken announced he'll conclude his college career at Seton Hall. The Pirates got the nod from the Randolph, New Jersey native over Michigan, Maryland, and Iowa State. Former Texas Rangers All-Star Josh Hamilton has been indicted on felony charges of injury to a child. His 14-year-old daughter claims he struck her. Hamilton faces 2 to 10 years in prison if convicted. WCBS News Time is 5:13. Downtown Brooklyn Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is redefining the rehabilitation experience. They offer short and long-term care and 24-hour nursing services with an unsurpassed level of care. Call 718-636-1000 to schedule a tour today. That's 718-636-1000.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investment. We're clearly different. Visit Fisher
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
At 5:15, a record 799 people died of coronavirus in the past 24 hours in New York, bringing the total number of deaths to 7,067 statewide. Governor Cuomo is bringing in extra funeral directors to deal with the increasing number of victims. Both Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio are urging New Yorkers not to become complacent as the curve flattens. They say social distancing continues to be imperative. And 6.6 million more people filed for unemployment last week. That brings the total to more than 16 million Americans who have filed for unemployment benefits over the past 3 weeks. Well, New York City has filed lawsuits against 3 businesses accused of price gouging on things like face masks and hand sanitizer. Lawsuits were filed against Burns Pharmacy in Queens and Hong Kong Supermarket and Thomas Drugs in Manhattan. Prosecutors say they racked up a combined 203 alleged price gouging violations. They face fines up to $69,000. The manager of one of those stores, Thomas Drugs, blames it on wholesalers, saying they're the ones who are jacking up the prices. Well, scammers are out in full force in the middle of this coronavirus crisis. Former New Jersey Director of Consumer Affairs, Adam Levin, tells WCBS hackers are deploying new tactics.
Ransomware, which is where they freeze your files, lock everything down, and demand to be paid, or else your files will be deleted or forever encrypted. Or the second thing is that they are looking to turn your mobile device into what's called a keystroke logger, which means every time you would log on to a website, your logon credentials are being transmitted to the hacker.
Levin, who owns the cybersecurity firm CyberScout, says never click on any links that appear to come from government agencies or believe people who call from official-looking phone numbers. The IRS and other agencies will send a letter for a legitimate issue. It's a bit of a paradox. There are far fewer cars on city streets, but speeding tickets are way up. WCBS's Steve Burns tries to sort it out.
Reckless driving is never good, but it's especially bad right now, says Sam Schwartz.
To have a crash during a period when we need hospital beds urgently for people with the virus, this is very selfish of people to be speeding right now.
You may know Schwartz as Gridlock Sam, a former city traffic commissioner. He says a combination of open roads and pent-up anxiety is leading to drivers stomping on the gas.
It is easy to speed with fewer vehicles that are on the road.
Gothamist reports that the month of March saw almost double the number of tickets from school zone speed cameras. Distance, many are heading into the street to avoid the city's
weather. Together on
we have that collision. The right lane is blocking any kind of delays at this point in either direction. On the entire length of the road, no delays here. See ongoing construction from 15W down through 15E and on down through 14. 2 left lanes are still closed. I'm Tom Kaminsky in the WCBS Traffic Center.
And we get a check of our 5-day forecast now. Here's meteorologist Craig Allen.
Better, I'd say much quieter now. They are quieter, but we still have the strong gusty winds that will be with us not only the rest of the evening and tonight, but tomorrow too. Wind advisory for frequent gusts over 40-45 miles per hour. Mainly northwesterly, so it's cold, or will be getting colder, I should say. 55 isn't so bad, but tonight it will drop to about 40, 30s in the northwest suburbs, and there's actually a wind chill For those who have to get out early tomorrow morning, it'll probably feel like it's below freezing. Some sunshine tomorrow, giving way to considerable cloudiness, chance of a passing shower or two, nothing intense, no severe weather, but a shower or two passing through, and 50 to 55. Friday night clearing and cold again. Then the forecast for Saturday, the weekend starts okay with a mix of sun and clouds, not as windy, high in the mid-50s. You stay connected with the Altis 5-day forecast, and Easter Sunday also doesn't look too bad. The daylight hours anyway, sun giving way to increasing clouds, but rain toward evening or more likely Sunday night, highs near 60, and then Monday, windy, rainy weather to start, and a high of 60 to 65. Right now in the city, 55, and a northwest wind gusting up to 40 miles per hour.
WCBS News Time is 5:20. Teens in the city will have a tougher time finding a summer job. The city has canceled the summer youth employment program for this year because of the coronavirus outbreak.
8,000 teens. Its elimination is devastating, says Staten Island Councilwoman Debbie Rose.
And supplies. This will have an economic impact on many of us.
To do.
We have a lot of tech.
For this company's 40 long, its stores low. A small number of employees will be kept on to fulfill online orders and curbside pickups. WCBS News Time, 5:22.
New Yorkers, Dish and Digital. I'm Paul Murdine. If you're like many Americans stressed out by coronavirus, you might want to try a meditation app. One is called Balance Meditation and is offering a free one-year subscription, which normally costs $50. The app provides customized plans to improve your stress, sleep, and more. Balance asks you questions about your meditation experience, goals, and preferences. Using an audio library of thousands of files, Balance puts together a daily meditation that becomes more personalized over time. These daily meditations are organized into 10-day plans designed to bring awareness to your day, increase your focus, and find deep relaxation in moments of stress. There's also a section where you can get quick exercises to help wake you up, reduce anxiety, and feel more energized. Balance is available on iOS and is coming soon to Android. Dish and Digital, I'm Paul Murdine. There's more at WCBS880.com/dishanddigital.
Care-Right Centers would like to thank their incredible staff that has remained vigilant during these trying times. Not all heroes wear capes, and Care-Right is fortunate to have heroes that demonstrate such unwavering commitment to their thousands of patients throughout the country.
Were you abused? The law office of Phillips and Colocelli is ready to hold childhood sexual predators accountable. The clergy, school districts, hospitals. Speak to a lawyer at Phillips and Colocelli now. Call 1-877-8-ABUSED. That's 1-877-8-ABUSED. New Yorkers, stay home. By staying home, you are doing your part to slow the spread of coronavirus. Together, we can protect the most vulnerable and our healthcare workers. When you go out for essential needs, don't forget to keep your distance between yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Cover your nose and mouth when you sneeze or cough. For the latest information, text COVID to 692-692 or visit nyc.gov/coronavirus.
See, here's the other thing that got me ticked off too, and this again goes back to the media in a lot of ways, okay? Because Parcells knew Bill had come there and he had taken a team that was 1-15 the year before, and he had made them they had a winning season. If anything, if nothing less, they were going to be 9-7 that year. So even if they lose this game, Bill, because the media loved him and would kiss his rear end all the time, was going to be praised about, oh, look what they were 1-15 and they're 9-7 and they, even though they didn't make the playoffs, look at this, all of that nonsense. And that's basically what happened. And when I tell you, and you know the story behind about this too, I killed Parcells that night. When I tell you I hammered him. And that was the night, that was of course during the time when Bill and Mike were, best buddies, there was a love fest between the two of them. Yeah. And I don't know if it was that night or one night, pretty quick after that, where Francesca comes on the overnight with me, like 2 o'clock in the morning for an hour. We're going back and forth about this with Parcells. Because I killed Parcells after that game. And like I said, I understand Bill came here and,
you know, he turned the franchise around, all of that. Okay, great, no doubt. I'll give him that. But we want to win a playoff game with Bill Parcells as their coach. And they should have made the playoffs in '97. Playoffs that year too. But it was Bill Parcells. We talked about the spike game loss. Didn't say that game. I gotta say the Neil. 3 years later, I had Neil. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, he was. If Bill didn't try to show you how that is good, and it was times, both years. It's guys right now. This might be Parcells' best coaching job ever.
Right. Meanwhile, he contributed to burying that, taking Tupa out, sticking with Rick Meyer, all that.
Right.
Charles Smith Memorial, a much-needed mental off day for you there, Brian.
I'm Michael Wallace in the WCBS newsroom. New York had another 799 coronavirus deaths overnight, its biggest daily total yet. Governor Cuomo is bringing in additional funeral directors to help. On the plus side, he says the rates of hospitalizations and ICU admissions are down. The curve is still flattening. Mayor de Blasio doesn't see the city lifting its restrictions until late May. The latest on these and other stories 24/7 on WCBS News Radio 880.
The CBS All Access original series, The Good Fight, is now streaming.
Something's going on. I've had cases disappear when the judge was given Memo 618.
Memo 618.
And there are all kinds of questions. Is there a get out of jail free for the rich and powerful?
That was a certain privilege. What privilege? I can't say. It's a privilege.
To see why The Good Fight has been called the best show on TV.
The laws have changed.
The Good Fight, new season now streaming, only on CBS All Access.
Is your marketing more fairy tale than reality? In real life, the tortoise gets crushed. Good products don't sell themselves, and out of sight means out of business. Didit delivers marketing for today. DIDIT.com.
No sports, no problem. DraftKings Sportsbook has endless amount of casino games to play from the comfort and safety of your home. And right now, all first-time casino players on DraftKings Sportsbook can get up to $200 to play risk-free for the first 24 hours after downloading and signing up. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and find the casino games in the top navigation bar to start playing. Choose from slots, blackjack, roulette, live dealer games, and more. DraftKings is legal, safe, more secure than secure gaming app. You can deposit and withdraw your money at any time at your convenience. Go to DraftKings.com/WFAN to play up to $200 of casino games risk-free. That's DraftKings.com/WFAN to play up to $200 risk-free for the first 24 hours of casino play on DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There will be parties again soon, and family gatherings. There'll be parades, and sporting events, and concerts. To help our communities when they come back together, respond to the 2020 census now. Spend a few minutes online today to impact the next 10 years of healthcare, infrastructure, and education. Respond online today to make America's tomorrow brighter. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
The motto for world-class competition has always been faster, higher, stronger. It's the same for Navient, makers of condensing tankless water heaters. Faster to install and set up. Higher performance and efficiency to provide endless hot water. Stronger with the industry's strongest warranty. All because of the copper-free stainless steel heat exchanger built in every unit. Learn about Navient's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navient contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com. That's tanklessmadesimple.com.
Searching for a plumbing and HVAC service company who's taking precautionary measures during the outbreak? Call Bruni and Campisi 24/7 to help you maintain a comfortable home.
From the 1010 Winds Traffic Center, I'm Gloria Chapa with the SupplyHouse.com Fan Highway Patrol. There's a missing sewer grate on the westbound Cross Bronx ramp to the Major Deegan. It's in the right lane. You should be able to get by, but watch those tires. Hutchinson River Parkway in Westchester heading northbound at exit 23N in Mamaroneck Avenue in White Plains. The right shoulder's out, that's a stalled car, and there's a crash on the New York State Thruway southbound between exits 9 and 8, so that's between Terrytown and Greenberg. It's in the right lane. Not a lot of traffic though. In Queens, no problem. Feels pretty good if you're taking the LAE, the Grand Central, even the Bell Parkway. George, Lincoln, and Holland moving very nicely in both directions, 5 to 10 or less in both directions for all. I'm Gloria Tapa with the SupplyHouse.com Fan Highway Patrol.
This is Tiki Barber with a Radio.com Sports Minute. There are 4 seasons left in the college football playoffs' original 10-year deal with the NCAA to produce the sports national champion. As we all know, the top 4 ranked teams qualified for the semifinal. But according to a survey done by Stadium, 88% of the 112 responding ADs want to see the field expanded, with the majority preferring an 8-team quarterfinal. The reasoning is pretty simple. Since the introduction of the playoff, more try to race for your lawn. We're here and we'll deliver it to your door. Experts at Windowrama, at windowrama.com, or call 800 by requesting your free in-home estimate at windowrama.com. That's windowrama.com. Tomorrow, we will talk to Andy Chavez, the former Met. When Cespedes released that video a few months ago, so really, maybe you can give us some insight on you. But I do not want to have that near me.
It's very similar to the Starks dunk.
Yes, it is very, very similar. Now, I think for Indy, it's probably a great moment he thinks about, but I'm sure there's some bitter sweetness to it because of the fact they lost the game in the series.
Yep.
But, look, it was it's one of those moments where I still remember what I said to my dad, how I felt like.
You thought they were going to win the Yeah, well.
So stupid.
It was another classic night.
Yeah. And yes, for those listening, we'll get to that. It is in the video bracket of pain.
I'm sure it is.
So, those of you that have the bracket, there appears to be an epic, what I think is an epic second round match could potentially, and find out when it happens.
There you go.
Let's go to your calls, 877-337-6666. Phil is in Passaic. Hey, Phil.
How are you
guys? How are you, Joe? Guys, I have to respectfully disagree about Belichick being a greater head coach than Lombardi. I can't buy it. Number one, Lombardi never had a losing season. Number two, when he took over the Packers in 58, the Packers were perennial losers over 59. They had won 1 game in 58. His first year, they're 7-5. Over the next 8 years, they're in 6 championship games. They win 5 of them. He's 9-1 in postseason play. Then in 1969, he takes over the Washington Redskins, who hadn't had a winning season since the 50s. His first year, they're 7-5-2, and then unfortunately he died of cancer. He's the greatest head coach ever. Now, by length, yes, Belichick has won 1 more title game, but no coach has ever had an impact like Lombardi. Now, Paul Brown, I know he was in the All-America Conference and the Cleveland Browns in the 40s, and then they came into the NFL in the 50s. They had a string. But if I was an owner of a football team and I had a Bill Belichick or a Vince Lombardi, I would take Lombardi. I think the players on Lombardi's team have a more sentiment feeling about him. I think he had a more, I could be wrong about this, but a more humane thing about him than Belichick. So I think Lombardi is the greatest head coach in the history of the NFL. And if I could just say one more thing, guys, you had this interesting debate with McGrath and hello?
Yeah.
McGriff
Delgado.
Right. I think of them as baseball players, not hitters. I'm an old timer. In fact, I called you, Evan. I called John Heyman out about saying Andrew Jones was the greatest center fielder of all time. What an idiotic statement.
I don't think he meant that, though.
I
think
he just didn't meant it, but that's what he said.
All right.
But anyway, I would take Stan Musial over Ted Williams as my left fielder. Why? Ted Williams was the greater hitter, even though Musial was one of the greatest hitters who ever lived. But Musial was a better baseball player, better base runner, better outfielder. Well, everybody go, especially more today, and Joe, you can understand, especially in my age range, everything goes purely by statistics, and you can do whatever you want with statistics. Okay? But I evaluate a guy as a player.
Look, but Phil, my only issue with what you're saying is, look, none of us think Andrew Jones is the greatest player of all time, and I don't think that's what John meant. But Andrew Jones is one of the guys you're describing, who
I don't love Andrew Jones as a player because he hit 50 home runs. I don't even really, I barely cite that, or his offensive numbers. I cite the fact that he played center field, for my money, better than anybody I ever saw. And he played it shallow and went back on a ball better than anybody I ever saw. So I respect your point about, hey, I want the better ball player, but that's a part of Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones has really good numbers. I don't even really bring up his numbers. Yeah. It's everything else about him.
I want to go to the Lombardi thing. And yeah, it's a fair point about Lombardi, and there's no question the correctness of just beginning to become what the NFL really is. But the difference to me is this: Lombardi had the same players all those years, the same players. Yeah, he had the same quarterback in Bart Starr, just like Bill had the same quarterback in Brady. But he had the same group of guys. You know, it was those guys. Yeah, it changed a little bit for the Super Bowl years. You know, Jim Taylor and Horning were gone, and it was Donnie Anderson and Chuck Mercine and guys like that. I get that. But basically, you know, it was Willie Davis and Fuzzy Thurston and Jerry Kramer and Boyd Dowler and, you know, and all those guys, and Ray Nitschke and Herb Adderley and Willie Wood. You know, those guys were basically the same group all those years. Belichick did it in the free agent era. Yeah. Belichick did it I mean, you look at some of the teams he had. I mean, the only constants he had was the quarterback and the two kickers. He had two kickers. He had Vinatieri and Gostkowski.
Well, but you know what else he said, Phil? Phil said that I think is unfair. Let's go point by point. The first thing he said is Vince Lombardi never had a season under 500. Okay? Let's also be fair. Vince Lombardi coached the Green Bay Packers for 9 years. Right. Okay? Then he had 1 year with Washington. It was not under 500 there. Okay? 9 years. Bill Belichick has coached the New England Patriots for 20 years. Okay? Mm-hmm. All of Bill Belichick's under 500 in New England, which was in 2000. Bill Belichick has won double-digit games every year but one, a 9-7 year. Yep. So when you say Vince Lombardi never had a below 500 year, is that really fair? When Bill Belichick, yeah, he had 500 years under 500. He was like the first 5 years of his career. Yeah. In the last 20 years, 19 straight.
You know, the first 3 championship teams, Brady obviously, but it was Brewski, it was Vrabel, it was Richard Seymour, it was David Gibbons, it was Deion Branch. You know, it was that group of guys. After that, it was all kinds. How many different constants you have after that? He still goes to 5 more Super Bowls and wins. And the only constant he has, like I said, is the quarterback and the kicker. Yeah, that's it. Look, one of the things that's not fair, I'll admit, for Vince Lombardi, is that poor Vince Lombardi got sick. And then, right. Obviously, he lost his life, but he only has a coaching career that's 10 years, and Bill's got a coaching career that's 25 years. In the free agent salary cap era.
No doubt. No doubt. Completely different era. Now, Vince Lombardi never had an opportunity to show you he could coach the free agent era. Who knows? We don't know. Just like we don't know what would have continued to happen in Washington. We don't know. So that's not fair to Vince Lombardi, but it's also not fair to cite under 500 years when the only under 500 years Bill Belichick ever had were during the first part of his career. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's had 19 consecutive seasons of finishing above 500. You said title games. 8 straight AFC title games.
And 17 out of 19 in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Only the 2 years he missed, 02 and 08, and that's it.
So look, when you debate Bill Belichick and Vince Lombardi, it's hard to do, based on everything we just said. Vince Lombardi didn't have a 25-year career. No. Bill's doing it in a different era. Vince Lombardi did it in a different era. But it's tough to bring up things like, hey, Vince Lombardi never had an under 500 year in his career when the guy coached for 15 less years. And you're basically holding Bill in Cleveland against him. Because, look, while he did an okay job in Cleveland, they made the playoffs once. Look, 4 out of the 5 years he was there, they were under 500. We get it.
Yeah.
And look what he's done in New England.
What bothers me more about the Lombardi era is the underappreciation of Bart Starr.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we had Bradshaw on earlier. We were talking about, you know, the top 10 quarterbacks. And the only one that had a problem with was Favre. But it wouldn't have been Bradshaw there. It would have been Bart Starr. I mean, Bart Starr was a tremendous quarterback. I mean, he doesn't get the credit he deserves because of Lombardi, you know, because everybody looks at Lombardi, Lombardi could have, they look at him, he could have won with anybody. Zeke Bratkowski, if he would have been the guy with the backup back in those years. Right. But Starr was a tremendous. He won the playoffs. Yeah. He won 5 championships. He won the first 2 MVPs in the Super Bowl. And that bothers me more. Bart Starr deserves more credit than he gets. He kind of gets as being, he should be one of the top 10 greatest quarterbacks of all time.
And what's great about Bart Starr is you mentioned 9-1 in the postseason. He even has numbers that would hold up in 2020. He threw 15 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, which was rare back then. So Bart Starr's got the win-loss record in the postseason. He's got the numbers. He is an all-time great.
Of course, and he's got something else that Brett Favre doesn't have. Brett Favre really doesn't have an iconic moment. I mean, let's be honest about it. You look at Brett Favre's career, what's the iconic moment he has? Jumping up and down when he throws a touchdown pass to Andre Rison in the Super Bowl? I mean, what's his iconic moment? The night that he had the big game after his father passed away? I mean, to me, Bart Starr, the quarterback sneak to win the Ice Bowl game in the NFL title game in 1967, that's an iconic moment. That's a moment, That's one of those moments. And Brett Favre doesn't have that. And Bart Starr has that as well. So, that bothers me more than, the Lombardi-Belichick thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Lombardi and Bill are always going to be compared, though.
Yeah, they should. They probably won 2.
Yeah.
They won 2.
Yeah.
But that's why I give Belichick the edge. That's my reason.